Subtle art to slowly minimizing all of the things within your house. There is a lot of things that can feel like it's suffocating you, or if you clean up your house and it still feels messy, then maybe it's time to start minimalizing. These are a few tips and tricks from me that are cheap, that are easy, to slowly start minimalizing the things within your home. In your life as a minimalist, it actually is a little bit more easier than you think. I'm not necessarily an entire minimalist as we're progressing into that, but I am one of those people that I want to just get rid of all my clutter. I grew up in a family that had a whole bunch of people coming in and coming out. It was very much like a commune type of situation. My mother was the type of person that she thought that your success in life was shown by the amount of stuff that you had. So you can imagine the amount of clutter that was in that giant house of ours, and it drove me crazy. My father, he had this horrible habit of keeping every single piece of paper, and it would just kind of just be there. This paper clutter was in our kitchen, and it took over an entire buffet. And I tried to get him to organize it, and we almost did, but then passed away. But yeah, it took that long. But here are some tips and some things that I am doing to cut down my clutter, to make my life a little bit more tidier and a little bit more zen. If you've read any of the books that are out there, there is The Magic of Tidying Up. That is a Japanese minimalist kind of book where it gets you in the mindset that things are just stuff. It's just stuff. So, I try to live by a little bit of that, but it's a little hardcore and I'm not quite there yet. So, here is my first tip and first trick. If you order anything online, for example, for us, every Christmas, every Christmas we order something online for all of our Christmas gifts. I keep all of these boxes. These are just the simple Amazon boxes right here. Small, big, all that kind of stuff. I keep those boxes. Why? Well, when I keep these, my goal is every box that comes in is a box that's going to go out. So I keep this. I fill it up with all the stuff that I have not either looked at in 3 months or two or more, or things that are cracked or broken, things but they still have to be semi-usable. Anything else you could just kind of toss. I do that. I close her all up, and then I send it off to a charity. There's Goodwill here, but I like to support what is called the Salvation Army, and I'm not sure if there's a Salvation Army where you guys are at, but I went through some stuff when I was in my early 20s, and the Salvation Army has legitimately helped me. So I know that is a charity that gives back to the community. So I do everything now in my power to give back to it, because it got me through. And so I want to extend that courtesy to somebody who was in the similar, if not same position as I was in when I was in my 20s. So I support the Salvation Army. So I gather all these boxes, and there's usually about five boxes. And then any gifts that come into our house at Christmas time that came in a box. So if I got, let's see, a tea kettle. I don't know, like electronic tea kettle. I'm throwing this out here. And it comes in a box. I'm going to keep that box and I'm going to fill it. And then when that's full, I'm going to close it and it's going to leave my house. When new stuff comes in, stuff must come out. The goal of this is that if I brought in 3 items, at least roughly 6 items are going out. So that means those 3 are being replaced, and then there's 3 on top of it. And then slowly and very slowly, things start to leave your house, and you honestly don't notice them. Tip 2 is to do a purging day, and this is especially now that it's wintertime and it's February, and it's soon going to be March, and the snow's gonna melt. So what happens then? Well, my favorite time of year is spring cleaning. So spring cleaning means that that you can start anew, that you can gather all of their things and just clean it, deep clean everything. It's a fresh new slate. Redecorate if you want to, but that means that you need to go through your stuff, and whatever you don't need, whatever is has not serviced you again within that 3 months to over. If you haven't thought about it for about a year, you probably don't need it. Another little thing is to evaluate what is truly important to you. Some stuff, they hold sentimental value. For example, I have a set of dressers that are the bane of my existence, and I hate them. But they were the last pair of dressers that Stephen got from his grandparents. So they have some sentimental value. So things like this, it's, you kind of want to make sure that these are bigger items sometimes. Sometimes they're tiny and sometimes they're small. You need to evaluate, okay, what is it? Stephen had something else of his grandparents, which was a small love seat that did not fit in our house, that we held on to for years, and I did not like it. One, because we didn't have the space for it, and two, because it was broken. It was a broken sofa. So I told him, I'm like, okay, you have two things, and they're dear to your heart, and that's important. It's important to have those things, to have that connection to the people that you love. However, if we keep these two dressers, can we get rid of the couch? Having that kind of mentality that if I keep something really important, like, do I need to keep 5 things that were given to me by somebody who is either gone or has that sentimental value? Like, do I need to keep 5 things, or do I just need to keep one? I'll always have those memories. So those kind of things. There are things that you shouldn't throw out that you don't touch. These things are tools, like that kind of stuff. But however, that does not mean that gives that a free reign to reign over your house. Have a section into your house that can be filled with tools. If it overflows, evaluate what you do need and what you don't need, and go from there. Don't how many tools do you really need inside your house? Not a lot. Fix what needs to be fixed. What is broken and cannot be fixed should be thrown out. Use everything up that can be possibly used up. Think clean lines when it comes to decor. Make it functional. Make a few statement pieces, and then the other ones do you really need? I think that too much decor could be, it just kind of feels very confined in and very drawn in. I have a bathroom here that has a whole bunch of these art pieces that I have carried on ever since I was 15 years old. I picked them up. They're very art deco, they're vintage prints, and there's a bunch of them. So I just did the entire bathroom in this theme of this, 1920s, 1930s vintage prints. And I might have to reevaluate and find a new function for them so that they can live on and carry into my 30s. Now, I've had them since I was 15 years old. Do I really need them anymore? Do I need to go through that process? So all that kind of stuff. If you think that it's useful and it's a tiny trinket, is it really useful? If it's in a junk drawer and you have not seen it and it's not a tool or it's not a utensil, do you really need it? There are tons of inspirational things that you could do for your organization that are cool DIY organizations stuff that you can do. and they are cost effective, and they can do that because a clean environment, it really helps your psyche. A bright, clean environment, it, in comparison to something that is dark, that is very that's very confining and messy, you're going to feel like crap when you wake up in the morning and you have, like, let's say, chocolate covered walls, like, that are this chocolate brown, like, you know, your curtains are drawn, there's stuff all over the floor. You're going to wake up and you're going to be like, ugh. And you go into your kitchen and your kitchen is filled with stuff and it's all tidy and it's all clean, but it still looks messy. If your house is tidy and clean but still looks messy, then you need to get rid of some stuff, or you need to go and organize it. But there's a problem and a fine line between organizing and purging, because if you are organizing a whole bunch of your stuff, then I'm pretty sure that that's just, you have an excess of stuff and you just already have too much stuff that you know, you probably should be getting rid of some of it anyway. You know, so make that evaluation. Make a list. Make a big to-do list. Be like, go one room at a time too. So start where you wake up. That's my big one. I started in my bathroom, which another good reason, but I would start, if I could do it again, and I will, spring's coming. Start where you wake up. Start in your bedroom. Go into your bedroom and, like, you know, give yourself maybe three to four boxes, ranging from small, medium, and then to large. Sure, right? And give yourself 2 garbage bags and fill it with stuff. Fill it all, and then deep clean your room. Do that. Make your room bright. If you have to paint, like, if you have to, if you're in an apartment, you shouldn't have really like dark walls anyway. You know, and then spruce it up with things that will make you happy. For me, I went out and I bought myself some twinkle lights for the bedroom, and I plug those in, and they make it at nighttime a little bit brighter. Use things like your favorite candles, like these ones right here are from a local company in Ontario called Sparta Candles. You know, not sponsored, of course, because they're a small little company and they are amazing. Or if you're a big Bath and Body Works fan, I have a bestie who is obsessed with it. Actually, I'm pretty sure you could probably look at her collection in her channel. Her name is Randy, and I'll link her channel down below. But yeah, oh man, like, she's got so many and her house always smells amazing. That's another thing, but another day. Those are those little things that make your nest a little bit more comfortable and how you can start your big deep clean, spring clean, and what I do to start minimalizing the things in your life. Everything should have its own place, but at the same time, if it's too little, I feel like it's not free and, like, it's not comfy enough. And I'm definitely one of those people that I like a cozy cabin. I like a nestly nest. But that's my tips for you. Super cheap, super easy. Recycle some boxes. Please donate them, and donate them to companies that actually, like, do something for your community. Try to do that. There are companies and thrift stores out there that you give them boxes of stuff, and that's free profit for them, and it lines, like, you know, the fat cat's pockets. Try to do something from someone who used a charity like that when I was younger. Try to do something like that and help someone's life, like, you know, help someone get back on their feet, those people that need them, families that don't have enough money. You know, support those kind of companies, especially if they're local. It makes a big difference. It does. You know, a pair of socks makes a big difference in wintertime when you don't have enough socks. Like, you know, so things like that. Go through all those. If you want a video on like, you know, the sections of things that I go through when I organize in my spring cleaning, then I just give a shout out and request it, and I will make one. Yeah, so if you have any questions or anything like that, I could do a follow-up video. But that is the subtle beauty of something so small that makes such a big difference. Just fill it up. Fill it up with stuff and send it off. And you have no idea the weight that it feels when it comes off of your shoulders. I hope you guys have a good day. You know, happy nesting.